Everyone, my name is Gabrielle, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Money with Friends. Every Wednesday around this time, we get an opportunity to come to you to talk about money. And we say on this show that money encompasses everything. So this privilege tonight is awesome because the conversation is your compensation matters. Why does it matter for you to maximize your compensation? Now, I know if you are someone who grew up in an environment where they say money is the root of all evil, actually it's not. The love of money is. But if you grew up in an environment like that, of course you're gonna think, why do we talk so much about money on this show? Why not? Because you know what? Money is everything. I know even the good book talks about money being everything, because you need money to do everything. So tonight we're gonna dig deep into a very important conversation, because again, we want you to understand why is it important for you to maximize your earnings, to maximize your income, to maximize your revenue. Because when you do, not only is it going to be good for you, but it is going to be good for those around you, your loved ones, your friends, and the community. And we know how important all that is. So without further ado, I would like to welcome all my friends, my three friends who are on tonight.
Hi.
I'll give them an opportunity to say hello, to talk a little briefly about what they do, and also, and then we'll dive into this important conversation. So why don't we start with Gabriella? Gabrielle, can you please say hello and introduce yourself again?
Hi, my name is Gabrielle DeBear-Pay, and I am a screenwriter, and I also used to be a high school science teacher.
Hello, Gabriella.
Gabrielle. I know.
Gabrielle.
Yeah, Gabrielle also. And I loved being a teacher, for high school science teacher for many, many years, but then I had some health issues. I couldn't continue. And now I think storytelling is important because stories inform culture. I love doing that. And Gabrielle, Renee, and I met at an organization called City Life.
Yeah, many moons ago. So thank you so much, Gabrielle, for being on the show tonight. I cannot wait to hear your point of view about this a very important topic of compensation. Why don't you say hello, Katia, say hello.
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you. Thank you, Gabby, for having me again today. Thank you to all of our friends. My name is Katia. I'm a friend of the show, of course, and I'm happy to be here to talk about this very important issue, which is not so much of an issue, this very important subject, which is money. Some people are afraid to talk about it, but we're going to delve into it today.
Yes, definitely. And we have a new friend here, Stefano. Why don't you say hello and introduce yourself briefly and let us know why you decided to join this very conversation. I know I was introduced to you by Katia, and I would like to hear a little bit about you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. My name is Stefano again, and I am the founder and chief technology officer for Gene Computech Corporation, which is a internet service provider based in Brockton, but we have an office also headquartered in Boston. So I got invited by Katia, as you mentioned, and the topic is very interesting when it comes to money and hearing different perspective when it comes to that, and I'm feeling grateful being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. You know, we were talking offline, and we said that, you know, it's a privilege to earn money because we know not everybody has an opportunity to do so. Those who are taking care of children are not able to do it because they are home taking care of kids. They're doing a very important job, right? Because we need mothers. Unfortunately, they don't get paid to do the work. And also today are those who are disabled. And for one reason or another, they have to be on disability and they're not able to earn income. They're not able to go out and maximize their compensation. So we're not saying tonight that those folks are not as important, right? If they're not able to maximize their compensation. What we want to address tonight is why is it important for you, an able-bodied, someone who has done the investment and who's highly educated, or who has done an investment to earn, to learn about a field, whatever the field is. Why is it important for you to assert yourself so that you can get the maximum income and basically what's in it for you and what's in it for those around you. So without further ado, let's start with the first question. Why does compensation matter? What is really the big deal about that? Why does compensation matter? Gabrielle, go ahead.
Well, everything revolves around money in this culture.
Yeah.
And people need to be able to support their family, have a decent home, well, get all their basic needs met. And it's getting harder for people to do that, with inflation and high cost of housing. And it causes a lot of pain and devastation when people don't have enough money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. When you talked about inflation and the cost of things, I think offline we were talking about, from the time we get up till the time we go to sleep, we're spending money, right? So because we're spending money is a tool. I think Stefano mentioned earlier, it's a tool, right? So why is it important, Stefano, that tool, we get to maximize that tool? Because if we don't, what usually happens? So what does it matter to maximize that income?
Well, it all goes based on the lifestyle that you want to have as well,
Right.
things that you want to accomplish, what objective that you have for the day, and what do you want to leave your kids after too, So, I mean, it is, like I said, it's a tool, like any other tools you have in your toolbox. You just have to always make sure you got new ones, new bills. You have to make sure you got more of it, different size of it, and you can use in different areas. So yeah.
Yeah. Katya, we were so when, especially for women, right? When you are thinking about the fact that your money, right, what you have in your wallet or at your bank account really makes a difference, right? Do you think that it helps you to become self-reliant and also confident?
Well, totally. It definitely helps you to have options. Of course, lots of people do not have that, and it's a privilege. Not so much a privilege, but once you work for it, but it's an opportunity, of course, to have the options to enjoy the beautiful things of life. Be able to take whatever vacation you would like, bring your family anywhere, so it's definitely very important to be able to use funds, to use money to that aspect.
Yeah. So again, we wanted to have this conversation about compensation because at the end of the day on this show, we say money encompasses everything. And how much money you earn, basically that's what it is, your compensation. You working, I know for years, Gabrielle, you were a teacher. You earned an income, that was your compensation. And for Katya and Stefano, they're both business owners. So they're earning a revenue or fees they're charging their clients. When you have those type of compensations, it's really important that you are not shy, right? Would you say, Stefano, you're not shy about saying to people, this is how much I'm worth and this is how much I want to make for the job that I'm doing? Because at the end of the day, doesn't that help you with economic advancement, with upward mobility? Because the more money you make, the more you can advance your lifestyle.
Yes. I definitely do. Even though there have been times that the audience that actually listening, that's when I say, "Hey, here's how much I'm worth," they not actually too pleased by even hearing it. But yes, I mean, like the compensation comes based on how much you value yourself first and how much knowledge that you have personally. Like the more books that you read, that's also increase on your worth as well.
Correct. Yeah, the compensation is very important because for me, I think it builds self-confidence and also provide you with freedom. So again, the topic of the show tonight is why compensation matters and why it is important for you. If you find yourself, next week, we're gonna have a lady who's gonna be talking about, important how to go about searching for a job. But once you found that job, it's very important that you can assert yourself and say, listen, this is how much I'm worth. and this is why I'm worth that much, and expect it from an employer or a client. Because when you don't do that, what happens to you? Can you build a legacy, Gabriela? We were talking about how, now you are semi-retired, but you're not living at home with your children, right? Because you had done the work to save up for your retirement. Can you build a legacy and build generational wealth if every single time you go to a job and you get in the minimum amount of compensation possible?
Are you talking to
Yes, Gabrielle, yes.
Well, one thing I'm very grateful for is I belong to the Boston Teachers Union, and we had to fight. Teachers were very, very poorly paid. They still are in many places. They were paid better in Boston. I mean, forming a union is one way to get better compensation, because a lot of the big businesses, they've made millions and billions and billions of dollars, and they're still paying their workers minimum wage or $10 an hour. So sometimes people have to come together and say, no, we're worth more. We're worth more. We're building the wealth of this company, and you need to share the wealth of the company. And I'm very grateful that I was in a union, because I did have a pension and I was able to retire. And, I wasn't rich, but I have enough, and I still have enough to get by, and I deserve it. I worked like crazy for the children of Boston for many, many years. I deserve a nice pension, and I have it, and I have health care, and we had to fight for that collectively.
Correct. Yeah, you gotta fight. And the reason why it's important to fight, because again, we've said that when you have compensation, Katia, right, you can accumulate asset, because there will be time where you're not able to earn money, whether you become sick or you're older and you have, you have a sick family member you're taking care of. You haven't had the opportunity to maximize your income while you were working or while you were building your business. Will give you the freedom, would you say?
Correct, of course. So it's important to be educated about money, about how to use money to make money for you, rather than spending all your life and all your time working for money, working for that wage, minimum wage, or whatsoever it is, so that you can have the ability to retire, like Gabrielle, having some options at the end of your life, because at the end of working hard for an assistant, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, typically, again, we said that, they say money is the root of all evil. Well, again, we said love of money is, because money is everything. And money is not only the everything, money is the only thing. And the reason for that is, again, we said from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, you're spending money, right? Right now, we all in our cozy homes. It's like winter time in New England. And guess what? Whether you believe it or not, or whether you know it or not, you are spending money, because the heat that's on, that's money, right? And then are you at your office right now, Stefano?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so are you spending money at your office right now?
Every single minute.
So that's why it's very important for you to make sure that your clients don't, pay you the maximum. So what's the difference? So I know, again, when it comes to, yes, I want to make the maximum, because I said there's something in it for you, right? We say it gives you self-confidence, self-reliance, freedom to do things that you want to do for yourself, accumulate assets, build a legacy, give you the freedom in the future when you retire. However, for those who are saying like, you know what, I rather not make money. I wanna make a difference instead. Money is not everything, so I want to make a difference. Can you make a difference in other people's lives and still pursue money?
Let me actually
nonprofit.
So there is one tiny thing I could adjust with that statement, which is the confidence part. If somebody lack of confidence without money, when they have money, they become arrogant. Okay, they think that they can buy anybody with money. But when you have confidence already without money, and that based on how you see yourself in the mirror, money is just an added value, right? Now, yes, the more that you have, you can actually, let's say, for example, myself, I can hire people and say, hey, I'm helping them to put food on the table. I'm helping them to raise their own family because I created something that, yes, of course, I'm gonna need to, because myself, I have family too. I have two boys myself. I have to have make sure that my boys are good too. You know what I mean? So of course, I'm gonna make sure that I get um, a lot to get the maximum of that money, because one, you have to take in consideration that hey, I started the company, I took major risks, I had to deal with paperwork, I mean the state is in mind every day, the FC, all this. So of course, I mean at the end of the day, like we don't really as a business owner, we don't really make that much really, because after you take all the expenses out. But yes, it does help to change other people's life by by giving him like um
Yeah.
by creating a pathway, I'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shared an article with all of you as we're preparing for this particular show. And I remember vividly in the article where this woman said that, you know what, your ability to earn money can really empower and give you an opportunity to help other people. Because we know that sometimes there are those who've been able to advance in their education, right? And then they get to a point and everybody's saying, like, are you going to work for a nonprofit? Are you gonna work for minimum wage, basically? Like, are you not gonna try to maximize, your earnings? Because they're thinking, if you go and maximize, you're not gonna be able to help other people. Whereas, do everybody have an option, Katya, to go and work for a nonprofit? Because when you think about it, if you are the only one in your family who is getting out, because you've gotten the education, you've been able, so many people have invested in you, don't you have a duty and a responsibility to go and maximize your income so that you can come back and help them?
Well, of course. However, it all depends on the person's path in life. Some people would rather be make themselves available to a good cause, which is helping humanity, helping people. They find joy, they find fulfillment. However, it would be very important, very great to be able to go out there and maximize whatever investment their family put into them and bring it back into the family. But investing in people do bring joy and also bring all sort of perks with it. For instance, I can spend my time, if somebody can dedicate their lives to help others, not bringing in revenues, not bringing in funds, money. However, the values, the great things of life, the satisfaction that they bring to other people would inspire people to go out there and be great and do great things. So it could go both way in that case.
Yeah, going back again to the article, is being a nonprofit or doing things pro bono the only way to inspire people and help them to do great things? Or can you, being savvy, like Stefano owns his company, can he, being a savvy and a successful business owner, also inspire other people to go out and do great things? What do you think, Gabriel or Stefano?
Well, on the tax purpose, it helps. By doing pro bonos, we can actually claim that on the tax during tax season. So, but yeah, I mean, it does encourage other people, and again, it's all depend on what cause that person believes in. Me personally, I believe in there's two causes that I believe in the most. One is cancer, and the other one is children. Um, but I'm mostly focused on the children one. But I do actually, how they use that word, support the cancer side. But when it comes to children, I mean, I've experienced many times. I go to children's hospital, and it is heartbroken, like to see kids. They want to do certain things, but they're not able to. And that was one of the reasons behind me even like opening up my data center, because at first it wasn't really to make money, honestly. I mean, money was the last thing on my mind. It was actually to help those children to be able, because a lot of them nowadays they expecting to have an internship at Google, to have an internship at Amazon or whatsoever. And it was a matter of, teaching them how even Zoom work, I mean, most of us we just know, hey, let's go on Zoom, but how Zoom work, and that's the cause I believe in. Now, sometimes yes, it does require some suffering, and again, that's what the money could have make it, like, actually do make it more easier, as far as, like, getting people now to say, hey, go outside and then reach out to those children, reach out to those programs and say, hey, we're right here and we can help with those kids. But definitely, it's great to do that. I don't really fully say that yes, the money will help again, but it's the motivation that count first for me.
Yeah, yeah. And I think the intent of the show is to remind folks, those especially who are gainfully employed and those who have a business. Because one of the questions that I had was, when you work for a company, I think you alluded to that, Gabriel, when you work for a company and you are not getting compensated properly, would you consider that financial theft? Whether you're too shy to assert yourself and ask for it, or they decided, you know what, you're not worth it. As we know, we were talking about it, some of the statistics in terms of like the income gap between men and women and minorities and all that. Have an example, and you all can share. I was very driven, and I'm still am in terms of like career. When I was in my 20s, I went into banking and I said, you know what, I'm gonna be the branch manager by the time I'm this age. So I was pursuing that. And the title was very important to me and the position, right? But I didn't know much about the compensation, right? Because I had not done, we'll talk about that, what you need to do. Guess what? I ended up getting paid the least amount of money, and I was being taken advantage of. And the reason for that is because I believe because I was young and also a minority. Because when I finally realized that, wait a second, these managers who are doing, some of them were doing less than I was doing because I was young and really didn't have a family to worry about, to run home to. And I was working overtime, doing everything. And yet I wasn't getting, in some cases, 75% of what they were making, or even some cases half. And I got very mad and eventually left that company. So they lost out on a good employee. But also, too, I lost out on opportunities to accumulate wealth. So do you consider that financial theft when you are working with a company and again, you're being lowballed for in terms of your compensation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it happens all the time. And I'm not a person of color, so I haven't been discriminated in that way, but I know I've been discriminated against as a woman. And it's a terrible feeling. And I think maybe it has gotten a little bit better. I don't know, not everywhere, but in some places. We have to collectively keep demanding equality. Women still get something like 70 cents to the dollar that men get. And, we have to, it takes a lot of confidence, like Stefano said, you have to believe in yourself. And if you're not being treated right in one job, to have enough self-esteem and self-confidence not to let yourself be abused and find another job. I mean, obviously, it's impossible to find the perfect job, but we want to try to find people that we're comfortable with, that respect us, that, compensate us the way we deserve to be. And that's why I also think sometimes we have to fight these things together.
Correct.
Because one person alone isn't that powerful, but if we all stand up and demand these things together, like, no, you can't discriminate against women. No, you can't discriminate against people of color.
Yeah.
This is not acceptable. We're not going to take it anymore.
So going back again to something that Katia said, and even Stefano, yes, pro bono work, if you so choose, if that's a decision that you've made, or being part of your company, because there are companies where, I remember being in banking too, I used to spend one Thursday every month teaching financial literacy and entrepreneurship to young kids at a local school in Dedham. So that was fine. That was pro bono work, right? And that was part of my compensation or my work at the company. But if you are someone who decided that you want to pursue a field and you want to pursue a business like you, Stefano, do you feel like when it's time for you to charge for your work and you have someone saying like, oh, you're not worth it, or they've taken time out of your time to get information from you? I know that too. You know, you're a business owner, especially minority business owners, unfortunately, you put in all the work because the client calls and you're like excited because, you know, it's hard to find a client. So you go ahead and start working even before you have a contract. And you start working even before you have a commitment because you believe that they're going to see your hard work and want to compensate you. Do you feel like it's been a financial theft when you don't get paid what you deserve to get paid, Stefano or
Well,
Katya?
that used to be I used to be that way. Yes, when actually somebody come in, um, yeah, I just like jump in and started the work, and at the end of the day, say, hey, you just need some gas money.
The recording has stopped.
Oops. Yeah, so it used to be like that where they'd be like, oh, okay, you at the end of the day, you just need gas money, or you just need to go, since I love Chinese food, you just need the money to go get some Chinese food, right? That used to be like that. Now, actually, I read people first, and then I make the decision if I want to work with you or not. And believe it or not, I used to say yes before. Now I'm more of a no, straight, than anything else. That used to happen, and then when that happened, it hurts. And I wasn't actually at that level where I can actually be comfortable and say, no, I don't want to work with you. Because I know myself, and that came in like like I can use a quick example for that even aspect. Like I had I just opened the data center, and I have this individual, and I'm like, oh, I just opened the data center. Why don't you move in? It's like, oh, I'm using Amazon right now, and they're charging me about $1,000 for only 500 gig capacity. I'm like, okay, great. I'm like, guess what? I'll give you 3 months for free. Since it's like a promotion I'm doing, 3 months for free. You own everything. And it's like, I don't think you can give me what Amazon is giving me.
Yeah.
If I wasn't confident, I would have felt a certain way. But my response back was like, you know what, at the end of the day, either you say yes or no, it doesn't make any difference to me. Because, I don't really need that specific individual to be at a specific level because I already know myself. So it goes back to the knowledge. The more that you know, the more you're worth. Yes, in order to get to maximize incomes, it's not just like go to HR and say, hey, you'd like a raise. You have to also be worthy of that way as well. Now, if it's not being appreciated, see ya, and you go to the next one.
And then the key is to do it as early as possible, because we know, again, one of the challenges that one of the barriers, oppressive barriers, is ageism. So the sooner you can maximize your income as a youngster, young professional, the better it is for you. So Katya, have you ever had your time and resources, i.e. your knowledge, stolen from you by a prospective client? Can you give us an example? I have so many examples, and I call it financial theft, but go ahead. You're on mute, honey.
My apologies. Yeah, I work with clients where, as Stefano mentioned, you go in full-fledged thinking that you showing the person that, okay, you want to work with them and make sure that the work is performed properly. However, they don't want to pay. I would say they don't want to pay now. They think that you're getting too much, right? But they know the value. They want to downplay the value, and that hurts because when you have bigger companies go to them and they don't even question that. So it's something that we fight every day in, especially, I don't like to call myself minorities, but it's something we do fight a lot being in business, especially women in business, we have to really I have to step up and stomp my foot and say, you know what, it's that, or I walk away because I know the value that I bring to those people. So it's definitely something to we hope that can change, but it probably takes some time.
Yeah, and I think one of the ways to avoid being having your time and your intellectual property, your brain, your education stolen from you, from having that taken away from you at no cost to the person who's taking it, is by accumulating asset. Because when you have reserves, right? When you have savings, when you assert yourself and ask for the right compensation the very first time, the first job, you ask for the right compensation, then you would have accumulated enough asset. Would you agree, Gabrielle? So that you're not desperate, because people can see your desperation. And when they know you are desperate for that one deal, or you're desperate for that one job, guess what? They're gonna lowball you. But if they know you're very confident, I give an example. I had this woman, and she was not a white lady, she was a Black woman. She'd called me and she said, Gabrielle, I remember you giving me your card. That was years ago, maybe 7 years ago. And I'm in a desperate situation right now. Someone is trying to steal something from me, and I know you could help me fight this situation. And I went full force, even before I signed a contract. And when I got her to the point where she got her asset, she had lost assets, and she was able to get them back because of my knowledge as a financial advisor. I had spent years, hundreds and thousands of dollars getting educated so that I could know about the financial industry. After I did all that, you know what she did to me? She sent me a letter via fax saying that your contract's been terminated. And you know what a lawyer told me? You cannot sue clients like that. You cannot sue clients like that. So the best thing to do is to make sure that whether it's a job or a client, that you sit down and there's a clear understanding as to what you're worth and what you're willing to do for the pay that they are gonna be able, they're gonna have to pay you. If they're not willing to do that, you say goodbye. So we don't want to leave this on a really down note, right? Because we want to be happy about this conversation. So one of the last question, actually probably the last question, what are some of the perks or benefits of having or earning a great income? I know the holidays just happened, right? Stephanie, you mentioned you had 2 kids. Do you go on vacation? Do they get to enjoy a nice vacation?
I'm sorry, is that somebody's name?
Stefano, yes.
Yes.
What are some of the perks?
No, I know. You mentioned vacation. I was asking if that's somebody's name.
Never heard of that. Yeah, when you're so busy working as an entrepreneur, it's very difficult.
Well,
are you planning for vacation? Maybe it's summer. I mean,
is that again somebody's name? I mean, I would love to meet him, but for now I haven't met him yet. But the thing is with me is that what's a little hard for me to even take vacation is the fact that, one, just like Katya was mentioning about, or even yourself, like people being taken advantage. I am actually in an industry that, one, you'll find a lot of great Black men that works for Comcast and Verizon in my level. I'm a network engineer. But to find one Black man from Vermont to Florida, and I really hope that I can find one before me that can say that they own an internet service provider. They provide the internet service. They are the actual provider. We're not reselling. If you know one, please, I'd love to meet him. So because of that aspect, I had to actually work extra hard because not only like when it comes to discrimination, I'm sorry I'm about to say that part. I really hope sometimes I was getting discriminated by white.
Exactly.
I'm not getting discriminated by white. I'm getting discriminated by Black, by my own peers. And to say on top of me saying that, oh, my service never goes down. And I have people that's really waiting for that 1 second to say, yeah, no, your things doesn't work, right? So I had to actually stay late. Like I'm talking 2:30 in the morning, 3. Sometimes I'm leaving office until like, I live 7 minutes away from my office. And there's days I'm leaving here at 7 in the morning.
Wow.
But it does take a lot, to deal with that. So yes, I mean, with the extra income, it does help that it does help to go on a vacation. right? It does help to take my kids somewhere. But by having the extra income, I can just, say, have their mothers just go and do that with them. And lucky me, so far, I don't have bad mothers for my children, so they don't even talk in my ears that much. So they just actually do the best that they want for my kids, and then I just actually have to stay concentrated, with the company part. But yes, yeah, the more that you have, the more freedom, the more flexibility you have. You can say, this weekend I'm going away. I mean, let me check Airbnb, and then you just check Airbnb, and then you be like, okay, I'm out this weekend. I'm coming back Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You have to look at your situation, and that's why we do this show. And we've had so many different topics so that you can assert yourself and be confident enough to say, this is what I'm worth, and you're gonna pay me forward. Especially if you know the fund is there, the budget is there, and yet you're not being given an opportunity to tap into that budget, either with the job or with a client. Listen, what are some of the perks, Gabrielle? Gabrielle, the holiday just passed. I'm sure you said you had a quiet holiday, but I mean, like, would you have had the opportunity when folks have enough income? Don't they have the opportunity to host holiday parties or even buy gifts? Christmas is coming,
having
buy gifts to
gifts,
families.
traveling, yeah, hosting people, taking children, grandchildren places,
Yeah.
all of that. I would also say that, retirement is a gift. Having time is a gift, like I'm now a writer. I'm doing what I love. And I'm hoping that it will make me some good money. If I had a lot of money, I wouldn't have to find people to do to pay for me making movies. I could just make the movies
Correct.
I want to make.
Yeah. So you can pursue dreams, like dreams that you have, whether it is to give back to scholarships or do something nice for
I want to give back by making movies that move humanity forward and give people jobs and make a difference in the world.
Yeah. So it's very important
I want to give back.
Yeah, it's very important not to be timid because, as we said earlier, or even our tagline, it's a very difficult conversation because the woman talked about that. Even though she's been a professional for years and has earned incomes and, done so many different things, that conversation about money is still very difficult. It's still very difficult when you're in front of that client to say, listen, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z for you, and this is how much it's gonna cost you, and you stay quiet. The next person who talks loses. The same way with a job, you go there and you're excited. Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you for the offer, but this is how much money you're gonna be. Oh wow, I was expecting this, and then you stay quiet. The next person who talks is the loser. So it's very That's what, you stay quiet. The next person who talks is the loser. So when you're asking, you stay quiet, because the next person who talks is a loser. So it's very important that you're not timid, that you know your self-worth. And Stefano mentioned that, you invest in yourself because your degrees and your hard training, whatever it is that you're doing, your research. I know I talk to Katia all the time. She's calling people around. And when she comes up with a deal, how dare you tell her you want to lowball her for that deal? I get mad, right, Katia?
Yeah, of course you do.
So what are some of the things that you can do? So last question, what are some of the things that somebody can do right now if they're saying to themselves, listen, I'm at the job and I know I should be getting paid more and I'm not, or I'm going to be going for that new job. What should I say? Ask for what you want and say nothing. Stay quiet. The next person who speaks loses. So that's an easy thing. So what can they do? The last question, what can you do to maximize your compensation?
Well, as Stefano mentioned very early on, definitely educating yourself and also knowing, well, the more, because ignorance, lack of education really is ignorance. So you wouldn't know what you're worth if you don't know your market, if you don't know your subject matter. Therefore, it's very important to really educate yourself about that specific thing, master it, make it your own, then it brings in value. It makes you can stand and say, okay, this is what I'm worth, this is what I want, because you know the value that you're going to bring into that company, the value that you're going to bring into that business, into that work, that job that you're about to do, that you're taking on. Therefore, making sure that you surround yourself, you go to you network with the right individuals, you get the education, because you should always be learning. You should always be learning, because you can learn from anybody, anywhere, anytime. And the more you learn, the more you seek to learn, to master your craft, your subject, then the more valuable you become in your own eyes, and you're able to definitely stand strong and say, hey, I want this, or I'm out.
Yes, definitely. What about you, Stefano?
Yeah, I was just about to add a quick example on that last statement that Katya mentioned, right? I just did, before I opened my data center, I just did a 240 camera install in Baltimore. The place was so huge, it is a 1.5 million square feet building. It's a warehouse, it's a massive one for floor and decor. After I finished doing that, I came back to Brockton. I had this one customer, it's a funeral home. They wanted to have 19 camera install. I priced them about like $22,000. The guy looked at me and be like, no, we were thinking about $5,000. I'm like, my man, I'm not looking to have experience from your job.
Yeah.
So I ended up working out. So yes, the more that you know, the more confidence you have. You have to realize, okay, how long did it take me to know this? You have to do it well. Do you have to pull permit? How you have to do it so this way it's not a messy job, so you don't have to come back to it 2 days later. There's people who don't care. They just go and take like $5,000. 2 days later, you call them because they were doing like they buy something from China, right? But it's also the quality of work that you're willing to put out. You can come to me and say that you're a lawyer, but if your quality of work is not really matching that amount, then you should not be able to even ask that price. You know what I mean? But
So yeah, we said one of the ways to maximize your income, or even education, know your industry, do your research, but also be uncomfortable, right, Gabrielle? Why can't you be uncomfortable?
Yeah,
if you are too comfortable, like I said, you say that, you say what you want, and you stay quiet, because the next person who speaks is the loser.
Well, like Stefano said, you have to have confidence and believe in yourself and not allow yourself to be mistreated. And yeah, you have to be brave and sometimes go out on a limb or get another job or start a business like you guys did. It's sometimes,
I would say also another way to know how to maximize when it comes to your income, it knows how to diversify as well. Because you cannot really rely on just, hey, I'm getting paid from this job that I do, but you have to also know how to diversify. Can you invest in somebody else's that doing that person is building a shoe place, that person is building a water bottle place? Can you invest on that, and then that also will generate enough diversity that you can say, okay, you know what, I want to go to Dubai. Guess what? This investment to the right is the one paying for that Dubai trip. The one for the left can actually, that's another way you can, maximize income and also build generation wealth. It's not actually fully can say that it's going to be built based on an RIA, but it will be actually more like how you diversify yourself as well. And how well do you know about money? Pretty much.
Correct. So diversification is key. Do not put all your eggs in one basket, especially your job. You should have multiple streams of income. We had a show called Multiple Streams of Income Matters. Matter. So you need multiple streams of income, but you need to maximize each stream. Do not leave anything on the table for other people to just like play with when it was supposed to be in your pocket. Listen, this show is important to me because I know how important money is. That's why we call this show Let's Talk Money with Friends, because money encompasses everything. Money is the holiday you just had with your family. You know how much groceries is right now, very expensive. So if you're at the job and the budget is there to pay you, but you're not asking for that money to be given to you, it's going someplace else. So you have to assert yourself to do it. So we say money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is. Money, it can change your life, and it can change the lives of others around you. There's nothing wrong to asserting yourself and earn as much income, because that income, you can use it again to help other people. Be uncomfortable. If you are always comfortable with what you're asking, guess what? You are the loser. You are losing. And when we say loser, we're not saying loser. It's just like you're not winning. You are losing. So it's very important that you win. Do your homework. Do not go to a negotiation for your salary or a negotiation for a client deal like Stefano. He went and did his research. He knew, like he said, this is you're not gonna provide me with experience here. I've done this. I know how much it's worth, and I'm gonna tell you this is it or not. So it's very important that you maximize your compensation, because compensation matters. We want you to have the best opportunity, and in order for you to have that, you have to maximize your compensation for everything, for not only now, but also for your future. Is there anything else, last word, that any of you would like to say before we say goodbye tonight?
Yes. Money is like electricity.
Mm-hmm.
It can be used for evil. I could electrocute somebody with it, but it's not a bad thing. It can make our lives much better, and it can be a wonderful tool. And so we need to.
One time I went to your house and I bought like a really nice dish for you that I was able to make. And I think the only reason I was able to make that is because I had the fun to do it. So you cannot give to your friends and family and the people around you if you don't have it. And this article that I can link it, this woman talks about how important it is to assert yourself so that you can maximize and be able to pay it forward. You cannot pay anything forward if you have nothing to pay forward. So thank you so much. Anybody else?
Yeah, for that dish you mentioned, did you make it or did you buy it?
No, I made it. Stephanie, you don't know about me. Ask Katya.
Well,
yes,
I mean,
thank you so much.
I wasn't questioning your cooking skills, though. I mean,
look into my Facebook page. Ask Katya. That was the artwork of myself and Katya over there.
I mean, I did see the fire truck actually passing by, but okay.
No, my mother's house almost burned, but it was the week, not the week of the Thanksgiving. But you know what? Thank you so much. I love being on this show. I love to have this really conversation. And I hope like those of you who have taken the time to watch will gain something from it. This is an important topic. Every single topic that we discuss on this show is important. But you know, if you don't take the time to listen and not only take the time for yourself, but pay it forward by giving it to your friends, share, tag, make a comment, and let them know that every Wednesday we are here, not only for you, but also for them. Stay tuned. Next week we have a great show. We already have it planned with an awesome lady about, job search. And the week after that, we already have that planned because it's gonna be holidays, vacation soon, and I want to make sure that you have enough to get you ready for the new year coming up. So thank you so much for your time. Please tag, share, and make a comment, and let your friends know we are here every Wednesday at 7 o'clock live on all